Hello YouTube, we're doing a video today on Lippert LCI leveling up jacks and the problem that we had when we got stuck at a campground for 4 hours while people were waiting. One of the things I want you to notice inside where the propane tank is some valves and another valve right here. And let's walk around to what type of LCI outside we also have. Now we also can control ours with our touch panel on the inside of the coach. But what you'll see is on the inside here, this is where all the problems began. On the inside, where you'll see all of the components, here's the motor, here's the solenoid valve, this is all your hydraulics, and then this is where all the problems began that we had no idea of. So, going back, when you're stuck and you don't have any extra fuses, one thing you'll need is your electric screwdriver to use on the motor, and this is the motor. On top of the motor where the sticker is, you'll see a place where you can put a hex bit in there, and you'll turn that on or pull the trigger on your electric drill. And when you turn the pump clockwise, you'll begin retracting your hydraulic legs. If you turn it counterclockwise, you'll extend the legs. Now, before you start doing that, you'll need to go over here to the valves. And what you'll see on the valves right here is where a hex tool goes. And what you'll do there is to open up the valve, you'll turn it clockwise. Once you open up the valve, you'll turn it almost all the way, then come back about a half a turn or two. That'll open up the valves to allow you to retract and extend. And here you'll notice two more valves. One has to be open and the other two must be closed for that to work. If you can get another vehicle, or if you have a jumper box, take the black wires off of this and take it off of this as well. Hook up a positive to this side or the positive to this side. Either way, it'll reverse or extend the jacks. It'll be a lot faster than using your drill. Something else I discovered when we got home, but at the campsite, I didn't know it'd be that much quicker. So, where was the problem? Well, after hours and hours on the phone with Grand Design while stuck at the campground, and the fine young lady at Grand Design who helped us, we figured out that later on, after hours on the phone with Grand Design after we got home, and then troubleshooting myself, under this cover is where all the fuses were covered up. And here's where the problem was. Grand Design on our 2018 Momentum installed a 50 amp short bus breaker. This has caused numerous problems with all the coaches, and I didn't believe in myself that that would be the problem. And sure enough, it was. That fuse was busted, broken, fried, whatever, and I didn't have one at the campground, and of course no at the campground. So on the phone with Grand Design, they said their new coaches now are upgrading to what? Now the 80 amp breaker, so that's not a problem anymore. So jumping off of this whole line, you can see where I've taken it off and just eliminated that. Used an open terminal and just follow that around. Back up here. Running into the fuse, then the fuse back to the solenoid switch. And at one point I thought the solenoid was bad, which it wasn't. And then that goes to the motor, controlling not only your jacks but also your slides. So here's an interesting tidbit that nobody told us about. These valves here, open and close. And what they do is, if you close one and leave one open, those are what controls the slides. So if you're ever in an area you only want one open slide and the other side closed, you'll close one, open one, and only one slide will work. So in other words, on our coach, we hit the button and both slides extend and both slides retract at the same time. So here's the other important information. Here is another hidden valve that nobody knows about, or at least we never knew. And this controls the front of your front jacks. And right there where I'm pointing is where you'll put your Allen wrench to open the valve. Once the valve is open, you'll go back to the motor and watch how quickly those retract or extend. So again, once that valve is open on the front, what we just showed, you'll come back to your motor, hook in at the top here, and you'll put your hex bit, just drop it straight in there, and you'll see if you go, let me see, what did I say earlier? Clockwise, you'll retract them. Counterclockwise, you'll extend them. And remember, you can only do one valve and one set at a time, so make sure they're either closed or open, and only one of your valves is open. Your valves, when you turn clockwise, that opens them. So be sure to open it all the way. And then I always turn back about a full turn. And then obviously counterclockwise to close that valve, and then come down here and you'll open that up. Remember, these are upside down, so you probably have to go the other way when you're trying to turn clockwise to open. So in closing and in short, this right here, this full line of short-stop buses was the problem of why we couldn't move our coach. Simply because we couldn't raise the leveling jacks of the LCI. Got home, ordered the 80 amp off of Amazon, and sure enough, it has fixed our problems. And now the leveling up system doesn't time out when I'm controlling or trying to raise or lower. They go up just as smooth and non-stop as ever. And the same way with our slides as well, they actually go in and out very smoothly. They don't stop. And that has happened ever since we had the coach, and we had no idea what the issue was. Hopefully this helps, folks. This is our first video ever on YouTube. Hope you liked it. If so, like it, subscribe to it, and pass the word on, because I know how frustrating it is, and hopefully this helps everyone. Thanks a lot, guys.